Okay. Good evening. Thank you for joining us for tonight's Village of Alsip committee meeting. Today is May 14th, 2018. We'll call this meeting in order at 7:30. Call the roll, please.
Yes, Trustee McGreal is absent at this time. Trustee Dalzell.
Here.
Trustee Pierce is absent at this time as well. Trustee Zielinski.
Here.
Trustee Juarez.
Here.
Trustee McLaughlin.
Here.
Mayor Ryan.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Great. Please join us for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, officers' reports, starting with myself. A couple of quick notes. I got a message last week from the Metropolitan Water Reclamation District, and they do want to announce to the public, in conjunction with National Infrastructure Week, the Metropolitan Water Reclamation District of Greater Chicago is hosting open houses and tours this coming Saturday, May 19th, from 9 a.m. till noon. Visitors of all ages are invited to stop by either the Calumet, Egan, Hanover Park, Curie, O'Brien, or Stickney water reclamation plants to learn about their history and new technology and how they better protect the waterways. This is an excellent opportunity for residents and students in your community to see firsthand the award-winning technology and infrastructure that has captivated visitors from around the globe. Background checks or reservations are not needed to participate in this annual event, and we'll be handing out free oak saplings and compost while supplies last. They're asking us to advertise this on our board. I'll pass this along. Maybe we could put this on our website. Feel free to, and you can actually download an electronic copy of their flyer if you go on mwrd.org. Also, the American Legion put out a post to me last week as well. They're planning down the road here a little bit for an event in August. The American Legion will return to the city that hosted its first national convention in Minneapolis, Minnesota, for the commencement of a year-long centennial celebration. The Joliet American Legion Band will be competing in the senior band competition and marching in the convention parade on Sunday, August 26th. The band has participated in the state convention, and they want to generate some of that same excitement for support at the 100th annual national convention. The Joliet American Legion Band has been the national champion band in the past and has a goal to bring the championship back to Illinois. It is very expensive transporting and housing a band of 65 to 75 members, including equipment and musical instruments. The fundraising efforts have begun, and the Department of Illinois is asking all American Legion posts to assist in this endeavor. Any contribution that your post, well, obviously the local posts can offer, would be greatly appreciated. Please make your checks payable to the American Legion, Department of Illinois, noting the Joliet American Legion Band. So again, if anyone can assist them, it'd be greatly appreciated. Trustees, just a little while ago, I was at another meeting earlier. Actually, Marist High School was dedicating a new science lab over at their school. They actually moved all the priests out of the monastery and turned the monastery into a science lab. So it was a nice occasion they just had over there. But I just sent you a copy of an ordinance that our attorney, Mike Kankar, sent me earlier today for your review during the week. And I don't have it on tonight's agenda, but this is in accordance with the Village of Alsip rezoning the property located at 12221 South Cicero Avenue, Unit 6. We're going to ask for approval to change the zoning from B1 Business District to B3 Business District. This was approved to have the attorney draft this ordinance back on April 2nd, and we're going to ask for approval on this at next week's board meeting. Again, that's in your emails. I just sent that there. On your agenda sheets, number one, and I will get this done as well this week, is we're going to ask for approval of an ordinance for a Class B liquor license to be issued to the same location for a private club located at 12221 South Cicero Avenue. Again, once this has been passed for rezoning, we can pass this as well. And then, Trustee Juarez, you'll see in licensing, they're going through a business process right now, too. So no liquor license will go out until the business license is done first, too. So that'll go through your committee first. And then we also had on here was a discussion, was the discussion for approval of a franchise agreement between the Village of Alsip and Comcast. Again, this is in your packets, so please take a look at the franchise agreement. Trustee Joe Kankar has been working on this, and there was just some new language, but none of the numbers have changed. Annually, off the top of my head, I believe we take in, it's about $250,000 a year in our franchise agreement with Comcast. Some of the other cable networks, you don't really bring any, I mean, some of them, we're using airwaves like the Dish TV, and more and more people apparently they're streaming live on the internet now then too, so you don't get anything from those. But Comcast seems to be the most prominent as far as typical cable going to your home. So we're going to ask for approval of that franchise agreement at next week's meeting. Also, everyone, please keep in mind this coming Friday, May 18th, will be the Village Police Department. Actually, we're asking for volunteers on this also. I'm not sure if Officer Merlo got enough volunteers yet. But this Friday, the 18th, will be the annual Cop on a Rooftop event from 5 in the morning till noon at the Dunkin' Donuts on 122nd and Cicero, and at the new Dunkin' Donuts, Chief, at 118th and Pulaski too, right?
Correct.
Okay. Proceeds for the benefit will go to Special Olympics then too. So if anyone can volunteer to help out that day or simply stop by, get a cup of coffee, and make a donation, your help is greatly appreciated. And that's all I have for myself. We'll go to Clerk's report. Clerk Putzel.
Thank you. Presentation and approval of the April 9th, 2018 committee meeting minutes. Presentation and approval of the April 30th, 2018 committee meeting minutes. The presentation for the April 2018 FOIA report, there was a total of 40 requests in April, so FOIAs are getting busy again. Presentation of the IDOT motor fuel tax allotment for April 2018 in the amount of $44,130.19. And then discussion for approval to issue a refund of $40 for a B truck plate vehicle sticker that was purchased by a resident whose son has since moved out of Alsip. And while we're on the subject of vehicle stickers, just an update, we are now at 2,072 vehicle stickers sold total and 11 online. So that season is gearing up, very busy in the clerk's office. That is all, Mayor Ryan.
You know what? I believe maybe it was even like last season we were talking about sometimes. While I appreciate what you have on here, I just with the $40, like you said, confusion. A lot of times we just made that an administrative adjustment yet too. So.
That's fine. Then we'll make a note, not unless the trustees want to see them as we put through the refunds. Okay, that's fine.
Okay. We reached the public forum. Anyone in our audience wish to address the board? All right. Well, thank you. No one this evening. Standing committee reports. Finance Committee. Trustee McGlohorn.
Right, first I have a presentation to request approval for the Sustainable Retiree Defined Benefit Funding Plan. Everybody should have that in their packet. I don't know if any on the board has any questions. Okay.
Kent, did you need Kent for any overview or anything like that? No. Okay.
We've kind of gone through it. I mean, if anyone has any questions, I can answer them. But between the emails that you guys all should have, which responded to your request, Trustee Zielinski, in the presentation the last time, we should be good unless anyone has questions. It will be on the agenda for next Monday.
Also, we have a request for approval for our Finance Director to attend the 2018 Illinois Municipal Annual Conference to be held June 24th through the 28th in Springfield. What is the cost of that conference?
I don't have it in front of me. I will try to look it up and get back to you later in the,
So that we
under
can
old business.
Add it to the agenda.
It is a pretty, as they go, it's one of the most inexpensive things. Almost every finance director in the state went to St. Louis because that was the national conference of the GFOA, and I think that would have been about 5 times more expensive. But I will look it up for the old business section.
Thank you. Additionally, we will have the usual list of accounts payable and payroll for approval next week. And then, not on the agenda, I think, Kent, where do we stand in terms of the budget?
I'm back on the budget full-time with one project the mayor is having me work on, but full-time I'm back on the budget. I started back today now that we have this thing written and done. It's time to sit back with the department directors and sharpen the pencil, and I had gotten about 80% done with the revenue, so within this week, but at least by the Monday's meeting, I will get you all the revenues of where we're at and try to get you an update. I'll pretend like it's a committee meeting. I don't think you'll talk about it at a board meeting, but I will get you that information within the next week.
The next thing we'll need to do is schedule more.
We will need a
committee meetings to
finance
review.
committee, but as Trustee Zelinski said, we need to do more in-house before it comes to your direction, and we will do that.
And
So all the department directors, we're back in that. I know you guys have a lot on your plate, but we're back to round 2.
okay, so along that same line, I just want to remind everybody that since we are, in a situation where we do not have an approved budget, there is no budgeted spending. There is no authorization for anything beyond daily operating needs. So realistically, all discretionary spending happening at this point in time realistically needs to come before the board, provided it's not nickel and dime stuff. But, I mean, without a budget, there is no authorization, there is no line items. So we need to be diligent in getting things approved when it's discretionary spending.
It's a good point.
Also,
Thank you.
along that lines, I wanted to bring up, there's been an ongoing question in terms of, now, the finance director has his conference on the agenda for this week, but we've had others that just show up in the stack of bills. So I wanted to remind everybody about, it's specifically Section 15.5-14-1 of, the Village Code ordinances, which specifically spells out guidelines for conference attendance. In this ordinance, it specifically states that an employee, upon committee recommendation and board approval, may attend professional organizations, conferences, and meetings. What that means is that nobody, even within discretionary spending and line items within the budget, all attendance at those type of events need to be approved by the board before the employees sign up and commit the village to those funds. So just public service info, friendly reminder. And that is all I have under finance at this time.
All right, thanks. How about a fire committee report, Trustee McLaurin?
Under fire, I know that the fire chief would like to attend a seminar, but I do not have the details on that at this point in time.
Okay.
So potentially we'll have it added to the agenda for next week. But again,
Sounds good.
I don't have the details at this time. That's all I
Okay.
have under fire.
All right, thank you. The police report committee?
We have a discussion for requests of hire for 2 full-time police officers, and that's all for police.
Chief, are these additional staff or replacement staff?
These are replacement staff. We're currently at 40. We also have 2 officers away in the military. We're authorized to have 42. Although there is no budget, we did budget for 42. And also we're expecting a retirement in October. So we're going to go for 2 for now, and we'll worry about the retirement when that one comes.
Anybody else? Okay. Thank you. The Public Work and Boat Launch Committee, Trustee Juarez.
I have a presentation of the April monthly activity report. I wanted to remind everyone, the board and our residents, that a public information meeting regarding the 131st Street Federal Aid Improvement located between Pulaski and Kedzie Avenue is scheduled for Monday, May 21st, 2018, from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. at the Alsip Village Hall Conference Room 1. The purpose of this meeting is to discuss the proposed improvements, the project schedule, and obtain public comments. Exhibits will be displayed, and representatives from the village and our consultants will be present to discuss the project and answer questions. Written comments regarding the project may be completed at the public meeting or mailed to the Village of Alsip, 4500 West 123rd Street, Alsip, Illinois 60803. Attention to Mike Frater, no later than June 4th, 2018. That's all.
Sounds good. The Building Committee, Trustee Zelinski.
A presentation of the April monthly activity report, presentation of the Building Department annual report for May 1st, 2017 through April 30th, 2018. Discussion for approval of the 5th annual pig roast at the Village Sportsman's Club located at 5201 West 115th Street on June 2nd, 2018 from 3 p.m. to 10 p.m. And a discussion for approval of a block party located on Fay Lane on Saturday, August 18th, 2018 from 10 a.m. to 11 p.m. That's all I have tonight.
Trustee, I think the only attachment I saw, I don't have the email in front of me, but with regard to that, and they've done, like they said, this is the 5th year they've done a pig roast for this organization. Do you remember, what's the name of the organization? Do you remember?
I don't have that.
Okay. But I know they were asking for additional parking across the street at New Hope Church, and I think that was part of the attachment to approving this, yeah, too.
They're going to be parking across the street. The church did authorize them to get a petition signed. They did actually ask from 3 to 11 o'clock a week. After discussing with all the other department heads, we did say 3 to 10.
Okay.
It's American Knights.
American Knights. Thank you, Trustee. Okay, that's all I want to bring up. Just the idea that we were talking about parking across the street, and then the church obviously was okay with that and everything too. So, okay. Water and sewer report, Trustee Dalzell.
The discussion to advertise the bid for the 2018 grounds restoration contract, to extend it to 18 months to move the renewal into the calendar year rather than the fiscal year. And then also the presentation of the April 2018 monthly activity report. That's all I have.
Okay. Thank you. Now, is that restoration, when does that expire, the current one?
The current one expires in June. And
In June.
It is a challenge, just, working this time of year. It would be a better situation to have the contract expire on a calendar year. That way we're starting fresh. We're not doing restorations in winter anyway.
Sure. Okay. The License Committee, Trustee Juarez.
I have a presentation of licenses dated April 27th through May 11th, 2018. That's all.
All right. Economic Development Committee. This would be Trustee Zelinski or Juarez?
Take that tonight.
Presentation of April monthly activity report. That's all, Mayor.
Okay. Go ahead, Roger.
And I guess
Yeah.
I'm here just mostly to answer questions. What we've been doing is just monitoring the Firewater redevelopment project, and they're in the process of securing their financing. It's gone on about a month longer than we expected it to, but negotiations for them to take over the Studio K lot seem to have been successful, and now we're just waiting for them to wrap it up into a neat package. We'll probably have to come back to you for a minor amendment to the redevelopment agreement because of the length of time it's taken to secure all of the approvals. They're about a month overdue for closing, so that may come back to you as an ordinance either at the next May village board meeting or at the first meeting in June, whenever they get ready to close. Other than that, we think affiliated management is moving ahead with their permitting, so and then we're continuing to meet with official cuts and Howie Chernosky on their strip malls up at the north end of Pulaski Road. It looks like Howie has got a restaurant operation that's interested in moving in if he can complete the facade improvements and the parking lot expansion that we've been talking about at the end of last year. And now he's trying to move full speed ahead on that. We've begun contacting other retailers to take over and maybe construct facilities on the EDCA car wash properties. You know, just kind of the romancing process of attracting retailers takes time, so we'll continue to work on those as well as some of the other vacant lots, like the lot north of Demon Dogs and Demon Dogs itself. We've had a couple of inquiries about that, and we're just continuing to work on those prospects.
Roger, what's the, I know we gave Edka a 1-year stay. He's
Right.
renting off us right now, but when is that date up?
That date is going to be up in February,
February, okay.
because we closed about, it was mid-February. It might have been February 19th.
All right. And then, I know we've announced before, Roger, how are we looking on the permits for the demolition at the car wash?
On the county permit for the car wash, and then the house, we are obtaining prices on remediation at this time.
Right. We found out, board, just so everybody stays in the loop, the house that we're tearing down has got some 2% asbestos that needs to be removed from the house before we can tear it down. We can't just, expose that to the air. And unfortunately, because of the condition of the house, we have to move all the garbage to get at the asbestos yet, too. So we contacted a good company that we've worked with before. They looked at it today with Mr. Early, and we should have a number from them hopefully by tomorrow. And we keep moving forward. I actually met with some of the neighbors came into my office the other day and are complaining about odors and so forth. And like, folks, we're trying to get this done as quickly as we can, but we have to do it correctly. So I'm just letting everybody know we are on this and stuff then too. And certainly as soon as permits come in, like for the car wash, we're tearing that down. And Roger, I can't wait to put a for sale or whatever sign out in front of there then too, to finally get, look, obviously we need to start promoting that property. And this will start enticing someone to come over and take a look at it, especially when they see fire water going up next door. I'm hoping for good things to happen quickly. So we'll see what happens there.
Yeah, and we're already getting inquiries about the vacant space that they've got in that building. So
There's a lot of good things happening in the village. I mean, there's a couple of things I can't say on camera here right now, but I had Roger come in with me last week, and we met with a couple of local businesses looking to expand. And we seem to be in a good situation right now. So we're working with everybody and doing the best we can. And Kent is helping me with a couple other projects yet too right now. So we should have these moving better soon. But it's nice to have we've been busy in my office lately too. So I appreciate everybody's help.
And maybe just another brief plug, Mayor. You've been involved in it, but the Illinois Economic Development Association is having their annual conference on June 14th and 15th at the Doubletree Hotel here in Alsip. So if you want to see what my counterparts do for a living or schmooze for a living.
All the sharks will be out there, exactly,
They'll be there.
Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to that, and yes, I plan on being in attendance for that yet, too.
Thank you.
Thank you, Raj. Thank you very much. Moving along, the Planning and Zoning Commission, Planning and Zoning Committee, Trustee Zelinski.
We have a discussion to approve case number 2018-04-S-100, change in zoning from a B1 to B3 special use to allow existing property with commercial zoning to obtain a liquor license commonly known as 4845 West 111th Street in Alsip. The Planning and Zoning Commission has passed this with a 6-0 vote.
Sounds good. Roger, how's the construction coming on that? I'm sorry, Roger Early. How's the construction coming with that right now? Would love to play and all that. 40 at FIM.
They're coming along. They're going to be picking up their permit. They had some work to do with the electrical. The plumber, I gave him the go-ahead. He started doing some work on the inside. So they are moving along quite well in there.
Okay. All right, next we have the special...
As a question in terms of that, in the zoning, I mean, will it be specific to strictly the unit where they intend on putting the gaming cafe and not the entire building?
Right.
Not the entire building, just to that one unit.
Okay, because it's not, I mean, based on the way this reads, it looks like it's
No, no.
the whole address.
No,
and-
separate entrance, everything, yes.
Okay, I just want to make sure that we're clear on that, because the
Yeah.
last thing we want is
Only
the whole
21
building
over.
zone B3, and they decide they want alcohol at the
No,
dumpy
no.
zone.
I know, the sketch it wasn't super clear. You know what, Raj?
There are three parcels. There's the jump zone in the center, and then you've got Four Seasons Fun on the west, and then on the east you have the liquor establishment.
Raj, can we download that and get to all the trustees during the week? This way there's no question when it comes for approval next week. All right. The special committee reports, Village Properties, trustee McGlohorn?
Do I have, no report.
None. The insurance committee, the committee member probably,
I'm not
Trustee
aware of
McGlohorn.
anything under insurance.
okay,
No report.
all right. The ordinance and legislation committee,
No report.
all right. Thank you. The IT committee, trustee Dozal.
No report, Mayor.
Human resources, trustee, trustee committee as well.
No report.
No report. Health and pollution committee. That'd be trustee Zelinski.
Presentation of the April monthly activities report. That's all that's under there today.
All right. The traffic safety committee, trustee Dozal.
No report, Mayor.
Any presentations, petitions, or communications? How about any unfinished business?
Actually, I do.
Okay.
To respond to the question from earlier.
Okay.
It's $205 for members and early bird plus hotel.
All right, thank you.
Any new business?
I just had a question for the police department. I don't know if you would know or if I have to ask DC Schultz about it. Have we gone ahead and spoke to our red light camera vendor to go ahead and
He's sending me fresh paperwork to sign off on. We didn't have a fresh paperwork from them. And he's sent me, when, Chief, today? We got that?
Correct. I had the 115th and Cicero paperwork. I don't have anything to do with 127 and Cicero yet, so
Right.
we're just waiting on that and to clear up and see how many cameras are installing and what directions.
So he's supposed to be overnighting this stuff. I'll probably see it tomorrow, but I got an email from him today. I reached out to him like last Thursday, and he's just getting back to me today. So we'll see what happens when it gets here. As far as closed sessions go, trustees, I did have a conversation late this afternoon with our attorney that represents us on behalf of our insurance company, and we do not need a closed session this evening. They want to do a little more work on their end before we just have any more discussion. So once this happens, I'll get back with everybody then. Okay? So that's canceled for this evening. So can I get a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Very good. Thank you, folks, for joining us tonight. We'll call this meeting to adjourn at 8 o'clock.